Welcome back, folks. MACTFORDEDGE back with another oil series video, and this time I have a complete compilation of what they call used oil analysis. That's right, used oil analysis for a Ford Edge. We're going to start out. What is the main platform this used oil analysis came from? That is the 2011 Ford Edge 3.5 Duratec front-wheel drive. It's an all-city, high-idle mom bus averaging 16 miles per hour in the oil changes. Yes, if you don't call that severe driving conditions, I don't know what is. Yes, this Edge is always under the gun. And to cover one oil sample, I call it an oil cocktail, and it contained CarQuest, Valvoline, Royal Purple, the regular Walmart off-the-shelf stuff, had also the Pro Max Oil, Lucas, and some Redline tossed in for good luck. So that is the oil cocktail that you'll see also mentioned in this oil test. This oil testing runs over 13 months. That's right. And it's about 6 oil changes, and we're going to cover the Liqui Moly. That's right, the Liqui Moly. How did it stand up against all the other oil changes in this series, in this 13-month run? This Ford Edge has been through, I want to guesstimate, over around 20 different brands of oil, folks. So no one oil is a specialty of mine, and we're just giving you the data from the oil testing results, and you can make your decision yourself. But starting out, we did the virgin oil analysis, known as VOA, for the Liqui Moly. Now we got the UOA, used oil analysis, and we did 111 hours under the mom bus situation. And again, this oil runs about $22.90 or $29.99. I think you buy it on Amazon or wherever. Your prices may vary, but the latest oil report, according to the Blackstone report, had no nasty surprises. Oil metal said the metals were down. Yes, overall dropped a little bit, but overall this Edge is running fine. It's probably a good state because they said it is one of the better 3.5 engines they've checked as far as oil analysis. So everything's good, and the Purolator Boss filter is keeping everything down as far as insolubles down to a 0.2%. So that's always good. Going out here at the aluminum, we had the Liqui Moly running at 2 parts per million, but if you go across the board, we had the Amazon Basic at 3, the CarQuest at 6, the Oil Cocktail at 6, the Kendall GT5 was at a 5, and the Mobile One is at a 7. So you can see that the Liqui Moly had far less aluminum in its sampling for used oil analysis. Chromium was 0 across the board for all the oil samples. Iron, the Liqui Moly had 3 parts per million. The Amazon Basics had 3. The CarQuest had a total of 4. The Oil Cocktail had 5. The Kendall GT had 4. And then the Mobile One had 5. Copper. Again, Liqui Moly was leading the pack on this at 2 parts per million, whereas the Amazon came in at 3. CarQuest had 6. Oil Cocktail had 4. And the Kendall GT had 3, with Mobile One pulling up a 5. Lead, we had 0 lead across the board for all our oils. And tin was 0 across the board for all the oil samples. This is always good. Molybdenum, that's right, molybdenum. We had 13 parts per million in the Liqui Moly, with all the other oils having more, such as the Amazon at 66, the CarQuest at 198, Oil Cocktail had 114, Kendall GT1 had 46, and the Mobile One had 153. Nickel, we had 0 across the board on there. Let me go back to the molybdenum in the UOA sample of Liqui Moly. Just keep in mind that is leaching from the previous oil. That is, in other words, remnants of Moly B from the last oil testing of the Amazon. So basically the Moly B VOA had no Moly in it, and it was just leftover Moly B from the Amazon Basics. Manganese, that's right, manganese. We had 0 in the Liqui Moly. We had 1 in the Amazon, 1 in the CarQuest, 1 in the Oil Cocktail, 1 in the Kendall, and 1 in the Mobile One. Silver, we had 0 across the board in silver for all of our oils. Titanium, we had 1 part per million in the Liqui Moly, which is probably a leaching. And then Amazon had 2, CarQuest had 15, Oil Cocktail had 18, Kendall GT1 had 59, and Mobile One had 0. Potassium, we have 8 parts per million in the Liqui Moly showing up. We had Amazon with 1 part per million, 0 in the CarQuest, 1 in the Oil Cocktail, and 0 for the Kendall and Mobile One. Boron, the Liqui Moly had 73 parts per million in the sample for Liqui Moly, 122 in the Amazon, 56 in the CarQuest, 65 in the Oil Cocktail, 110 in the Kendall GT1, and 80 in the Mobile One. The silicon, we had Liqui Moly at 8, Amazon at 8, CarQuest at 12, the Oil Cocktail at 10, Kendall at 9, and we had Mobile One at 11. Sodium, we had 6 parts per million sodium in the Liqui Moly with 13 parts per million in the Amazon. CarQuest had 60 parts per million, and then the Oil Cocktail had 6, and the Kendall GT had 5, and the Mobile One had 5. Definitely don't want to see a lot of sodium. It's never good to see a lot of that in there, but yeah, the CarQuest definitely had its fair amount. Calcium. Well, who's the leader in the calcium? That would be the Liqui Moly. Had 2,122 parts per million calcium in its oil sample, whereas the Amazon had 1,792, with the CarQuest at a 1,711. Oil Cocktail had 1,738. The Kendall had 1,914, and the Mobile One had 1,343. Magnesium, that's another additive that we have in there. Always helps your TBN, I think, a bit. And we had 21 parts per million in the Liqui Moly, with the Amazon having 69. The CarQuest had 336, with the Oil Cocktail running at a 406 parts per million. And then the Kendall GT1 had 104. And the Mobile One says, back up the trolley, we're doing 688 in this one. So they really bumped it up on the Mobile One. Now, phosphorus for the Liqui Moly was 793 parts per million, with 746 for the Amazon, 784 for the CarQuest, 744 for the Oil Cocktail, 716 for the Kendall GT1, and 814 for the Mobile One. Again, bumping it up. Zinc, Liqui Moly came in again at 875 parts per million for the zinc. And then we had 806 for the Amazon, 823 for the CarQuest. Oil Cocktail had 816. The Kendall had 757. And the Mobile One had 891 parts per million. All good and fine. And 0 across the board for the barium. Now we get into the real stuff. The SUS viscosity, that's right. And we had the Liqui Moly running at a 53.4, with the Amazon Basics at a 51.3, and then we had the CarQuest running at 52.9. The Oil Cocktail is a 53.3, and the Kendall GT1 is a 51.8, with the Mobile One at a 50.9. Now, the viscosity is also important because as it is used, it evaporates, it may get thicker, thinner, whatever the results are, we're going to be paying attention to that. The CST viscosity at 100 degrees Celsius, that was 8.29 for the Liqui Moly, and then it was a 7.68 for the Amazon Basics, with an 8.15 for the CarQuest, 8.27 for the Oil Cocktail, and then an 7.82 for the Kendall GT1, with Mobile One pulling in at 7.54. The flash point for the oils, well, it dropped down a bit, but we ended up with a 410 degree flash point, and then that was for the Liqui Moly. Then we have the Amazon Basics at 405. CarQuest is a 405. The Oil Cocktail dropped, and if we notice, I'll tell you later, it had some fuel traces in it, and that fuel will dilute it quickly. So it was 380. Kendall GT1 is 425, with the Mobile One being at a 385. Again, trace oil fuel in the oil. There's less than 0.5 fuel in the Liqui Moly testing, and across the board pretty much 0.5 for most, except for the oil cocktail that had a trace of fuel in it, along with the Mobil 1, which definitely affected their numbers dramatically. Now, antifreeze, we had 0 across the board, and that's a beautiful sight when you got that 3.5 Duratec. You don't want to see any type of antifreeze or water. Water was 0 across the board for all these tests, so this Ford Edge is running fine with no water pump issues. Insolubles, we had a 0.2 across the board except for the Kendall, but overall the Boss filter was performing fine, and the Kendall was at a 0.3, which is not bad. That's pretty much what I'm seeing across the board. Now, the total base number, TBN, the Liqui Moly was 3.8, and had dropped a fair bit, and I'll add that all up here at the end of the video. The Amazon Basics was 3.4, and then the CarQuest was 3.3, with the oil cocktail running at 3.6, and 3.6 for the Kendall GT. I had not begun TBN testing for the Mobil 1, so I have no idea, but we'll assume it was probably around a 3 or something. Just give it a buy on that one. But either way, these oil tests were all done. Now, if you look at them up here on the top, you will see that the Liqui Moly was run 111 hours. The Amazon Basics was ran 108 hours. And the CarQuest was ran 150 hours. The oil cocktail was ran 140 hours. And the Kendall GT1 was ran 109 hours. With the Mobil 1 ran 114. So sort of apples to apples with a few high ones in there. And that is going to be another subject for another video of where I'm going with my hours, and do I bring them up or do I keep them where they're at or bring them down. And I'll address that in a later video, what I'm going to be doing, and changing my testing around a bit, folks, because I think I've proven where I need to go, and I need to start making those adjustments. But overall, Liqui Moly review of the results. What did the Liqui Moly show us? And that is its VOA TBN was at a 6.6 when it started, and when it ended on the used oil analysis, we're at a 3.8. That being estimated, the loss was a 0.025 TBN per hour of use, and the estimated hours to 1 TBN may be about 222 hours under ideal conditions, folks. Yes, ideal. So we have a couple other things we need to address. The flash point of the VOA was 445 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is where I said under ideal conditions. The flash point of the UOA was 410 degrees Fahrenheit when it was tested. So the rate of the flash point degraded would estimate the oil to be about 160 hours used, taking into account fuel dilution and other things. So is this truly a 222-hour oil? Probably not, because your engine is going to put a lot of ifs, ands, and buts into that, so you're going to have to watch out. So my conservative estimate for the Liqui Moly for city driving is 150 hours at 3,000 to 4,000 miles of severe use. Okay, so we want to make sure that we always follow our manufacturer's instructions and recommendations as far as what severe use is and how your driving is, and testing will definitely tell you where you're at on that. So that is your oil testing for the Liqui Moly 5W20 that I utilized in this oil test, and I hope that you all learned something from it. Hey, whatever oil is your best oil, I provide the information on MACTgarage.com under oil analysis. You can go through, see how the oils are being used, how they're rating, and make your best informed decision based on the data provided. And just keep in mind, I am not saying any one oil is better, because all my Edges have been running well over 20 to 30 different brands, and those engines are running great. So this is MACTFORDEDGE. Remember, like, subscribe, join up, and also my feet hit the floor today. So I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. And we got the Band of One with some fantastic music, and Mercy Grill with a couple of one-liners, and whatever else may happen at the end of this video. You don't know till you watch.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.